Break it down.
Hello, 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 everybody. It's 11th of June. Wow, tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. Holy cow, she's going to be 42. Oh, I thought I was old at 42. Anyway, as you can see, Chris isn't here, but I got the other part of 360 red. Prayers for Chris. He's got a lot going on, but he's going to be okay. It's not, uh-oh. Not sure what happened there, but you're back. Uh, and you're muted, Red. Remember, when I just so
No,
you know.
I was just changing my connection, to be fair, because it was a bit in and
Okay,
out, so we're good.
good, because yesterday I had a nightmare with Restream. Anyway, everybody, thanks for being here. We do know that there's a couple little hiccups with OConnect. They're working on it. They were doing some cloud-based adjustments and all that, so it's cool. They know all about it. They'll it might even be fixed now. A little bit of chatting with Ash. He's really upbeat. I mean, obviously he sees a lot more than we see, which is good though. I mean, I'm glad that his spirits are up. They're always up, even when there's gunfire, I think, but really more than ever. So that's good news. The other thing is the last few weeks, well, maybe longer, putting light on other people. I'm really stoked about so many people I've met around the world, UK, Germany, uh, Africa. That's a lot of young people in Africa. I couldn't believe how many around the world that there's highly educated young people with nothing to do with that education. There's nothing there. ONPASSIVE rolls into somewhere like Africa. Oh my gosh. A lot of technology, a lot more than I knew going on in the UK. Sure, Red knows that too now. Um, AI, all kinds of stuff. I believe the United States is a little behind. I think there's parts that are pushing it 100%, but there's always that pushback. People got this stupid thing about AI. Listen, AI can be treated and used wrongly, just like every other paradigm shift in the world. Cars could be used wrongly. When they came out with guns, they made a machine gun. It's a killing thing. You can go target practice or you can shoot people. I mean, it's an individual thing, and it's sad that it's that way, but it is, and that's not going to change. I think all the stuff I've looked up on AI, the pros and the cons, the pros are way ahead of the cons, like not even on the same chart. Doing mundane things and doing it like the speed of light. In healthcare, how it can help people in surgeries instead of getting this big cut open on your body and months to heal through technology, machine learning. They go in to a little bitty hole and can do miracles. Amazing. They've actually even made robots. I guess you call them robots that travel through your bloodstream. I mean, come on, that's crazy. Being able to do the tides, they have AI uh, lifeguards in a way. They can tell where there's going to be a riptide, which is a riptide means it's pushing you back harder than you can try to get in. That's how people drown. They panic and fight against it. Instead of going this way and coming in, they try to come straight in. It doesn't work. Little things like that. Weather, a big one, that feeding the world. Yes, we have the resources, but where are they being guided? I believe on paths it's going to take a big chunk of redirecting the 460 or 470 trillion dollars on the planet. 460, 470 trillion dollars on the planet. And we're talking about stupid, crazy stuff like not being able to eat or have water. Something's wrong. I think all that's going to be changed. But AI can take land and actually feed information to farmers and let them know, or any country, where they should be planting, what time, what kind of stuff. what kind of crop and all that. I was blown away. And if you go to AI news and read up all the new stuff that's going on with AI, pooh, I'll tell you what, AI has been around a long time, but I really think, I mean, he's not going to admit it, but I think Ash has a crystal ball at home, and he looked into where we were going. Because I remember when I started in early 2019, and Red knows this for sure. When we were doing it, and you're looking at, we heard AI, we knew there were bits of it, but somewhere in that time period, it went, we're going all AI, we're going all 100%, we're going to build our own stuff, and this just went through the roof. And I think he grabbed it at a good time. The other benefit that we have in ONPASSIVE is there's a lot of companies right now, this is fact, modifying themselves and adding to and bringing in AI. Well, it goes back to that analogy. You have a foundation built for whatever it is, and then you stack on top of it. It doesn't always work. It leans, it doesn't fit right. And we're ONPASSIVE, this massive foundation that all of us had, we're mind boggling. Like, why are we building, why are we branding so big? Why are we expanding? And the products aren't even here yet. To it, if we do this now, when we plug anything in, everyone wins. And it's not going to get lopsided. It can handle the additions, adding new things for years and years to come. Because I've been in companies that they're doing it now. A lot of AI going into these big companies, and it's not fitting. It's just not fitting correctly, and it's costing them 100 times what it would have cost if you build it from scratch. The other difference is, obviously, we were built with heart where we all become partners of the company. Not really founders. We didn't help build it. We didn't pay to build it. But through the generosity of Mr. Mifar and his family, they said, we're going to build something and let you become our partners. We might be a silent partner, but we're the silent side where we share the wealth. That's crazy. So as they get bigger and expand and more revenue comes in, they're going to say, here, this is yours. Just for being loyal, just for taking this journey. Look, thank God I read this a long time ago. Wasn't very long, but when you get beat up in MLM and something like this comes, you can really appreciate it, because I've seen that ugly side. And when you see that there's somebody that cares and everything they're doing is built around us, boom. One of the statements that Ash made, and I've said this a million times, is, and he said it to everyone, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're dreaming, dream bigger. And I'm like, what? Dream bigger? I mean, he's not talking to like 5 people. How do you make a dream for that many people? How do you give the resources to that many? Look at the foundation. That's how they do it. And a thing I said yesterday, and I want to say it again. People talk about when's it gonna happen? When's this gonna happen? The only person bleeding money is Mr. Mifar. Only one. We haven't paid a dime since. I haven't paid anything since September 1st, $143. Nothing since then. So all the stuff you hear and all their money you're paying, we're not paying nothing. Nothing. I don't have to stay here. If I want to leave, I can leave. I got to connect for free almost for over a year. Really. I got to get Red back in, huh? All right, he's back. Anyway, but I just wanted to emphasize, man, we're in a good place. We're on the magic carpet ride. We know that it's about we. Fortunate that all the nasty stuff is being done by them, which is beautiful. We have over 550 people here. I guess because I got a movie star here. Yeah. So, but anyway, uh, I'm sure Chris is reading this, so I'll harass him later. But anyway, he's going to be fine. And like I said, I expect big things this month. I mean, that's my opinion. I know I've said it before, but I just think before the end of June, I think we'll see some pretty cool stuff. There's things being worked on. I mean, you got to know that. So it's never stop. When Ash says he's not showing up, let's look at what he said. I won't be here for 2 weeks. 6 days later, he was back. So he didn't make the first week, not even 7 days. This is the second week. I believe he goes back and do a checkup with what they did, and I would not be surprised if Mr. McFarland pops out in the next week. Anyway, keep in mind everything's full steam ahead. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. I believe it's for going to change the world. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. I wouldn't have spent 5.5 years. I could have done other things, but I hated that world. I hated using people. And here we all win. Remember that. We all win. I'm going to turn it over to Red, and I'm going to shut up for a minute.
Don't you worry. Don't forget to let them know about tomorrow as well after I've finished, Marty. Okay. Thank you, Marty, for joining forces. It makes our life easier whilst Chris is away doing his granddad duties, that's for sure. Then you only have to see us once, so to speak, rather than coming on twice, and hopefully that will carry on this week for sure. Just going on the back of what Marty was saying about AI, and actually it's funny, isn't it, that I was going to talk about this in a different way as well. We are very much on the same wavelength as far as things have been talking, but he was saying about the UK and AI. We have been here in the UK one of the forefront country runners of artificial intelligence as far as the government is concerned, to the tune that the grants that the government give to companies in the UK last year alone was 386 million pounds was granted to companies for the growth of AI. And at the moment, there's around about 3,500, just over actually, companies that were considered for this grant within the AI field. And this is producing a turnover of a mind-boggling 65.5 billion, that's with a B, pounds. So in real terms, what we're looking at there, close to $100 billion. But the really interesting fact of AI as far as the UK is concerned, and the analysis they have given, because of the grants and the companies, and obviously they do track what is going on. And the interesting part is that all of those companies on average have grown by 37.5% because of the integration of artificial intelligence within their own companies. So that alone should encourage so many companies to onboard artificial intelligence into their whatever their fields they are into. Before I go into more of the AI part, let's just bring you up to date with a couple of ONPASSIVE bits and pieces that you might know, might not have known. Yesterday, towards the end of the afternoon yesterday, we got an extension to OConnect of 10 more days. That is now going through to the 21st of June. Thank you very much to Ashmafar and Corporate ONPASSIVE for allowing us once again to use OConnect without any charge to ourselves. I will reiterate once again, just because we've had an extension of 10 days does not mean we are going to go that full 10-day period. As Marty said, I am also anticipating to hear some updates very shortly from our CEO, Ashby Farah, on where we are at the moment. Obviously, as soon as we know any more details about that, we will bring it to you. And as Marty has said, some of the little glitches that we have encountered the last couple of days, they were escalated super rapido to corporate. They knew about them. They've worked in the background on them, and they should all be cleared out by now. But it was a bit of a changeover from the cloud-based data that they were using onto a different thing. Also, yesterday, if you are a follower of our CMO, Mohammed Nassal, you'd noticed a very cryptic post that he put out there with a very long hallway, and everyone's guessing where it would be and what it's all about. So we will obviously bring you the update for that as soon as we find out what it's all about. But he does like teasing us a little bit, doesn't he, Mohammed Nassal? A, for where he is, but also B, what he's actually up to. So we will bring you those updates as soon as we can. Going back then to AI. Now, if you remember back to Friday, I was talking about the company that had overtaken Apple as top spot of most valued independent company, and that was Nvidia. And obviously, I gave you a bit of a history and background to Nvidia and what it's all about. And we were talking about how because Apple hadn't taken up the AI part of what is going on at the moment, they had fallen behind. Guess what is in the news today? If you are a follower of the news, you will notice that Apple is bringing ChatGPT to its iPhones and an AI reconstruction. Oh, I wonder why they're doing that. Feeling left behind. Apple announced that it was enhancing its Siri voice assistant and its operating system using OpenAI's ChatGPT program in an attempt to catch up the race towards artificial intelligence. Apple CEO Tim Cook confirmed that this step will expand his company's products to new heights during the opening of the Worldwide Development Conference at the headquarters in California. ChatGPT will be integrated into Apple's new personal artificial intelligence system, which aims to provide easier ways for users to navigate between the Apple devices. And Craig Frederick, Apple's chief software officer, said the system puts powerful generative models at the heart of the iOS users of iPad, iPhone, and Macs, while maintaining data privacy at every step. In addition to the integration of ChatGPT, Apple announced other new features that will introduce on the iPhone and Mac operating system, including sending messages via satellite and dedicated applications for maintaining passwords. In between all of this, guess who has reared their head to say, if Apple do this, then our very own Tesla, Elon Musk, has said that if Apple do this, he's going to ban Apple devices from his places of work. Now, the ironic part of all that is that yesterday in the news, and I know I am diverging a little bit away from ONPASSIVE, but I'm going to come back round again in a minute. In the news yesterday, Tesla had a massive order of chips, AI chips, for their Tesla cars and products from Nvidia. And yesterday in the news, these are now not going to Tesla. They're going to go to, guess where? X, into Twitter. So I wonder what they're going to be using those for. But for him to come out today to say that if they are using these, then that is obviously him flexing his muscles because he wants to have that #1 spot. But going back to what Marty was saying, and this all ties in very, very nicely, is that all of these companies now are in the AI race by a long, long shot. You only have to look at the analytical statistics that come out time and time again from companies that are integrating it into their software, into their hardware, and using it on a regular basis because it makes them more profitable and it takes a lot of the workload away from what was there originally. The problem is always that integration. That is the big, big sticking point that they have right now. Why? Because majority of the companies have existing databases, they have existing programs, all written in an analog form or without AI ever being thought about. And trying to bring something into that environment, it's a bit like having a transplant in a body. If everything marries up and everything matches, you can do it really easily. You literally are just opening up, sticking one in, and off you go. It's very similar with AI software. If it has been built to accept it, you can take it out, put it back in, take it out, put it back in without any problems. If you are bringing something into that environment that is actually alien, then it crashes everything around it. The computer literally says, nah, I'm not having any of this, switches off, and it causes all sorts of problems. And so they are literally trying to fit a size 9 foot into a size 4 shoe. And this is the biggest problem that all of the companies are having now. And this is why literally the race is on. Along comes ONPASSIVE. Why are we talking about ONPASSIVE within these fields? Quite simply because all of our products that we know about and the ones that are coming very shortly have been built from the ground up, specifically with artificial intelligence in mind. That means it literally is going to be a plug and play environment as far as AI is concerned. Because the coding has been written with this in mind, it means that we can put stuff into it, upgrade things extremely easily as that AI field expands, as it gets more fluid, more boisterous, and new things come on market. We can integrate all of these things seamlessly and very easily so that the products accept them and they work even more efficiently. Couple this with all our products integrating together, one will read the other, and all of this just makes for a wonderful and very exciting future as far as ONPASSIVE is concerned. Now, I know there's going to be people out there saying, well, this is all hearsay. Until we actually see it, we don't know. Why do you think what we are doing now is important? Because we are making sure that we are good to go. We are making sure that we are not going to hit that ground running and then have to stop once again. We are making sure that everything is being done that is possible to be done to make sure that when we get going again, it is going to be a very seamless uh, way of rolling things out, and we can bring more and more things online. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that to the table because it really is interesting how the AI movement is gaining a huge amount of momentum at the moment. You see it all the time in the news. You're listening to these major big companies literally scrapping over each other to have the right of the one that is using AI more than the other one is using AI. But mark my words, and I really do mean this, that because of how we are positioning ourselves as a platform for the users, whether they be individuals, companies, governmental departments, or even countries, they are going to be coming to us like people are going to NVIDIA. We are going to be the ones that they are looking for to facilitate their needs within the internet space. Why? Because it might be a lot easier for them to use our products and integrate our products within their services rather than trying to have to build something themselves from the scratch. Why not just use ours, and then they can move forward without having the heartache and the headache of having to try and integrate it into what their existing system is. Ours can run alongside theirs. We can marry up. We can actually help them. And this is what the ecosystem and the platform of ONPASSIVE is designed to do, to make everybody's life in the internet space a whole lot easier, whether it's an individual who is got a website and a domain name, whether it is a small business that needs to do a few things so they use our products and services, or go large and it is a multinational corporation that want to use our products internally within their own, then all of these things are possible. And this is why we are certainly going to get noticed and certainly used, which really is the end of the game, what we're all about, having those users. Anyway, that's it for me, Marty. Back to you.
Dangerous having you on because now I'm thinking of stuff. Very good, Red. You know, when we're talking about fitting and stacking and have the foundation for a 3-story building and try to make it a 10-story building. It's like having a 10,000 piece puzzle and fitting a 500 piece puzzle piece into it. They don't, they might have the right shape, they're not the right size, or they're not the, it just doesn't fit. It's hard. So they have to modify. The other thing that Red said, and I've been going over this many, many times, it's very important that we don't look at ONPASSIVE as a competitor to big businesses. We are here to help them. He said, listen to what Red said, and I've been saying, oh my God, over and over. They're going to need what we have, and they're going to use what we have. And I'm going to explain why I believe this 100%. If they build something that we have, they have to pay shareholders, they have to pay the they have to pay staff to make it. They have to. It's there. It's cheaper than anybody on the planet, and it's got the highest quality AI involved. It's the tools that they need to enhance their business. They're not. It's not a competition. It's like, hey, I need a cup that's heated. Wait, ONPASSIVE has a heated cup, and by the way, it keeps filling. I don't even have to pour anything into it. The example is it's convenient, and there's many things in ONPASSIVE that a company might use as a tool. And one thing they don't want to get build up with is going to 15 different sites to get different things to enhance their business. They click in, they get in, they have a few people that get into ONPASSIVE, get all the stuff they need, bring it into the business, use it, and enhance and keep going down the track. It doesn't stop them from what they're doing. It enhances what they're doing. It's not a direct competition. Now, I can't say that about every company. We know some are going to be affected, but big companies that want these tools, I'm talking about news, I'm talking about healthcare, I'm talking about schooling, education, small businesses, to be able to get in and say, and build their own package. That's exactly what they're doing. They're building their own package. I want this, and I want this. Well, it's all in one place. You go in, log in, boom, here it is. You go to this, and while you're doing no connect for a business, you can bring up this and bring up the next one and bring up something else. And it cuts back on time. I really don't believe they could make these tools as cheap as efficient as ONPASSIVE. There's too much this. They have to satisfy usually stockholders or shareholders. It's just the name of the game, and that's okay. But that's why every time I think, and then somebody gets my mind going, that's why ONPASSIVE makes so much sense for the world. They didn't come out and say, we'll spend every cent we have, we'll be bigger than everybody else. No, they had a different mindset. Let's build it efficiently. Let's not go public. We'll keep it together as a family thing and build it and build it and build it and make it so efficient, so affordable, and the highest technology you can get, because they're not thinking money. I know people think, in the world, Ash would be a crazy man to be the way he does things. But in the long run, what we're looking for is results. Results will be, I believe, millions of people come in from individuals, small, medium, large companies to use what we have because it's very easy. It's all on one platform, simple, single sign on, click, 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 and you're anywhere you want to be. You see that tape I have at the bottom, 135 billion they spent last year. They figured by 2030, 827 billion. That's almost $1 trillion. And it's only what, 6 years away? No, 5.5. Man, and you know what? That'll be wrong. Probably be wrong. It'll probably be $1 trillion. And we're right on the top of that wave coming in. We're right on the top of that wave. In fact, my opinion, what we don't know is we're creating waves. We're not just riding them. I think waves are going to be created from ONPASSIVE. I really do. And whatever we don't see. Because when Ash told us look at ONPASSIVE, which is like, I was so happy that I knew 5% if I was lucky. And then when he said zoom out, that little ball there, that's ONPASSIVE ecosystem. See all those other little balls? That's ONPASSIVE. That's Ashwufara system. And we could be part of all that. And I'm like, what the freak? You know, I mean, when I remember one time as an analogy where somebody said, you know, I said it about marketing. Go to Los Angeles Freeway is a freaking mess. If you look at 500 feet, it's everything's just tangled together. But the man that built that, the one that designed the highways, he knows where everybody's going, how they're going to get there, which way they went. That's Ashwufara. So when you zoom out and see everything, you're going, it looks like a cobweb, but it's a cobweb that was designed and made to be efficient. Even though it's like, even ONPASSIVE, it's so simple to use. But you know why? Because of technology. They went out of their way to make it simple. You're not going to search all over. You're going to boom. As you notice, you go in Connect, the font's a little bigger. They've moved things closer. You don't have to click a button and it pop up. It's right there. These are little things that when companies come in and see it, because what happens is the CEO of a company doesn't go in personally and grab something and go, I'm going to go to Connect, see what they have. No. They're going to go, they'll send people. There's people that work for them. We had them in our job where they would go out, and that's what they did. They would bring in resources that the company needed. That person, that woman comes in, checks out ONPASSIVE, and goes, oh my God, I got it. For one thing, they're going to look like superstars because they're going to bring it in because the company's not going to care what tool they're using. They care about the results. It's mind-blowing. I think we're in a special place, all of us. And I'm so stoked. I think Red will be with me the rest of the week, Red. We're going together. Okay. Like I said, by the way, newsflash, no 360 tomorrow, but that doesn't mean that the world has stopped. Okay. There's no 360. Like Ash said, he couldn't be here in 2 weeks. 360 wasn't mainly for Ash. It was a place where he could pop in because he's busy. We know he can't be here tomorrow, but he could pop in anytime. An example was last week. We didn't have 360. He said, is it Red coming on 11? Yeah, we're going to do it there. It's that simple. And we could set up a webinar in 20 minutes. Oh, less. We've done it. Red did it in 18, so it's possible. But anyway, we could do all that, spread the news, and get everybody in. That's not a problem. And that's how things are probably going to be more than likely, because things are going to be going kaboom, 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 right? And he said, I'm not going to tell you we're coming in 5 days. It's going to be boom, we're having a webinar. It's going to be exciting. You go into the webinar and all of a sudden there's something new. Beautiful. Love all you people. Thank you for being here. Red, I'm going to let you make a closing statement if you'd like.
Yeah, just to say that because there's no 360 tomorrow, I will do the week in review as a separate, that will be posted out on my channel, and I will also put it in the updates section of your founders. But great to be here with Marty. Looking forward to the rest of the week. Obviously, I'm not Mr. Johnson, but I'll try my hardest. Better looking, Jane said.
I heard her. Everybody heard her. And I hope Chris heard her. Chris is probably going, you know. Anyway, 630 people here today. Woo.
Very
Thank you
good.
very much. That's not bad. I know Brad Pitt and no, forget it. Anyway, thanks everybody. I mean that. And we'll come up with more news. Anything new pops up, obviously. We're one big family. We're going to be shining lights out, so watch out. We're looking for you. Anyway, see you all. Thank you.